Oh, Susie, is that a paw on Rusty? You guys are so cute. So cute. I could watch you all day, you two. You're being so cute. Can you believe that those two used to hate each other when we adopted them from the shelter? Look at those teeth. So cute. Hey, Christopher. Look at those two cutie pies. They used to really not like each other at all, and now they're just best friends. So sweet. Huh? Okay, I'll leave you two to it. I know. I'm disturbing you. Your hating cat is still in the isolation room. Oh man, I feel so bad for her, but I totally get it. There's just no other option for you guys at the moment. So I hope she can live with your daughter one day and then just be the only cat in the house and the boss in the house. They eventually get used to each other's attention. Yeah, for sure. They definitely became best friends. Marco hours were like this too. Like they would chase each other and beat each other up. They were really rough with each other the first couple weeks. So we almost were at that point where we were thinking of having to give up one of the cats and giving them to a friend. But luckily, last minute, they became friends and now they're cuddle buddies and all. They're really doing very well. And they're very nice to Oscar too. This one here, little Moose, she's a little sassy with our dog. So sometimes she gives him a slap. Just making sure to show him that she's the boss in the house. She used to be so shy and very timid. So she was definitely the lowest rank in the house, but now, okay, now she's the boss. Thank you, Minecraft Explorer. I love Minecraft, by the way. I watched the movie. Have you seen it in the movie theater already? And if yes, how did you like it? I think people really like it. Only heard good stuff about it. Yes, nice, very cool. She paid $79 a month rent extra for her cat. We pay like 30 per cat and then per dog too, so 90 altogether. You love it? Nice. I'm glad to hear that. I would definitely watch it again in a couple months or so. I really enjoyed it. I hope they make a second one. Do you think they're gonna make a second one? Your son has a big yellow cat that is Krampus. Krampus, that's cute. Next semester she will move in with my daughter. Okay, good. Yeah, I think she is one of those cats that really cannot be with other cats, I assume. Like your coffee cat. Some of the cats are just like that. She loves her scratches. She likes rough scratches, whereas my other cat is more like a softie. But she likes to play like this. Sometimes I look like scratched up and like I just walked through the jungle for months. Ouch. Susie, you're a rough one. Okay. That's enough. You're crazy. You're a crazy cat. And my husband's always like, oh, she's so cute. She loves her soft touches. And I'm like, do you know her? She does not like soft touches. She's a roughie. You're a roughie. Hey, happy birthday. Nice. What a coincidence. We had a birthday today too in our friend group. He's mean, don't like anything or anyone except him. I love the name Krampus though, that's cute. I need to call my next cat Krampus. Susie would be, or Moose, whatever her name is. Sometimes I call her Moose, sometimes I call her Susie. She should be named Krampus too. By the way, I got some chicken for Oscar for his dog food. Man, I look rough today. This is a message to the IRS, by the way. I'm still upset about my taxes. But his chicken is still hard as a rock. I just took it out of the freezer because working all day, got stuff on my mind, completely forgot about taking the chicken out of the freezer for Oscar. So I feel like, because those chickens are always attached to that bottom part, like that moisture absorbing pad that's in there, and it takes forever to unthaw. So I feel like I have to do it tomorrow morning, the Oscar cooking. So for now, I'm probably just gonna clean the kitchen with you guys. 16 people in the stream. Speak up, folks, right? Use your voice, people, but it's fine. Sometimes I just like to watch streams too and not participate. You know, if you're just chilling and having it on in the background and you're doing stuff like cleaning, that's usually what I like to do. When I watch live streams, if I'm not a moderator, like in yours, Marco, where I have to defend my fellow German friends. But if I'm just watching, sometimes I just have it on in the background. So feel free to participate, to just watch. Everyone is always welcome here, speaking or non-speaking, or texting in this case. Hi, Odie. He named his George after King George. King George, nice. Better than King Henry. Henry was the one, wasn't George a rough one too? Or am I mixing them up? No, George was a better one, right? But didn't he do some really effed up shit too, if I'm not mistaken? I just know Henry was the one that liked to do the beheadings, if I'm not mixing that up right now. My geeky history loving family. That's funny though, that's cool. I like that. It's good to know a lot about history. But yeah, Marco, $80 for one cat extra rent is a lot. Here in our house, I was really upset about how it works. So when you move in, you had to pay $300 per animal, which I already think is pretty high. And then you, on top of that, you still have to pay rent on a monthly base for your animals. So I feel like you should do either or, not both, because what's the point? And if they damage anything, why won't they just keep our what's it called? Deposit. You know, what's the deposit for then? So it just doesn't make sense. So you pay deposit and then you pay an animal fee as well. So I don't know. They're just trying to get their money, I guess. Someone in the house moved in with a little kid. Luckily, they don't live next to us. Nothing wrong with little kids, obviously, but it's just something else in an apartment building. I get it in a house, but apartment buildings with a newborn, that's rough. Same here, 300 per animal too. Not a deposit, exactly. That's the thing I'm wondering. Why not a deposit? So I get it that you have to pay more deposit, like 300 per animal. just because there might be more damage than if you live there without an animal. But why are we not getting that back, even if they don't do anything? You know, it's kind of weird. Hello, Shuriken. How are you doing? How's everything in Georgia? On a midnight train to Georgia. By the way, my chicken is still frozen, so I'll probably have to do Oscar's cooking in the morning or for lunch tomorrow, because I don't think it will be ready on time. So I'm just gonna clean the kitchen with y'all and then just keep it short for today. I'm drinking my kombucha. You guys ever drink kombucha? I really like it. I used to not like it because it's quite a quiet taste, I guess. But it has good ingredients. It is kombucha, which is 30-day ferment of black tea, green tea, kiwi juice, and cane sugar. And because there's bacteria in it, in the kombucha, the bacteria will eat up the sugar and basically take out the sugar out of the juice and turn it into lactic acid, I think, gluconic acid and acetic acid and lactic acid and glucuronic acid, if anyone wanted to know what's in kombucha. So we have 1 billion organisms in one bottle, and oh no, 5 billion, no, 9 billion altogether. Crazy. And take it with a grain of salt again, but I think the human body is made up of 2% bacteria. Like our body weight is made up of 2% bacteria, or 2% of our body weight is because of bacteria. Can you imagine that? Bacteria are so small, you can't even see them, but yet our body has so many that it makes up for 2%. Something to think about. So bacteria are actually pretty important. So if you have a bad gut microbiome, drink some kombucha. Not an expert, but that's what I like to do, and it really helped me. I've never tried kombucha. Put defrost mode in microwave. Oh, that's a good idea actually, Marco. Doing pretty well. I'm glad you're doing pretty well. I'm pretty upset today. I did my taxes and I'm effing pissed today because of that. It made me so mad. Sorry for using those words, but there's no other way that could describe it better. It's just atrocious. And yeah, Shuriken, I think you would like kombucha just because the base of it is tea, like fermented tea. And if you like sour stuff, or if you don't mind it, and if you don't like stuff that's too sweet, but more like a little, has like a kick to it, I think you will like it. Especially when it's really cold, like from the freezer or from the fridge, it tastes delicious. Hi, moderators. Easy sound instead of spelling everything. That's a lot of acids. It is. A lot of bacteria too. The gut is a whole different story. Oh yeah, I look a lot into the gut stuff for a couple years now. I had a lot of issues, I think, because first of all, I'm a C-section kid, so if you're a C-section person, or if you were born via C-section, you may have a lower immune or less strong immune system and gut microbiome due to that. And then if you took antibiotics in early ages, or in general, if you took a lot of antibiotics in your life, your gut microbiome will most likely be very affected by that, and you have to rebuild that. And those, I think they're called Olipops, those prebiotic sodas, you know, those little cans that you can buy everywhere, they're really trending right now. So don't confuse them or mistake them for probiotics. They're not probiotic drinks, they're prebiotic drinks. And what prebiotic means is just it's creating the baseline for probiotics. Probiotics are bacteria, like microbiomes, or microorganisms. And the prebiotics is basically what the bacteria eat. So you will need the prebiotic as a feeding ground for your microorganisms. So you have to make sure you have both. You can't just take probiotics and expect them to work if you don't eat enough fiber like prebiotics. So that's basically all prebiotics is. So don't get fooled by those prebiotic supplements and fiber supplements. It's really just very cheap stuff. It's like basically what paper is, more or less. It's like super cheap fiber from like leftovers from oil production and all that stuff. So just eat vegetables and fruit and beans and legumes, and you got it, and whole grain. So that's your prebiotic. We drank some of the new batch of Hinjun tonight. I'm getting the hang of brewing it now. Every batch of tea is a little different. Nice, very cool. You gotta do like a tea ranking one day. Sure, I can. Like a list of your favorite teas after you tried all of them. Stop complaining about the taxes. We literally owe the value of a new car. Yeah, I guess it can always be worse, but I'm still gonna complain. I'm German. If I don't complain, what am I even living for, right? There goes my Lexus. Yep, taxes are always a downer. I need to try kombucha though. It sounds like I bet Emma will love it. She'll saw things. Okay, then she'll like it. If it's like ice cold, out of the fridge, a kombucha really smacks. Find a solution for my GI pain. I will grant you any wish, Ami. Don't say that, Marco. I would try without even the wish. I wish I could help you, you know, without anything in return, but it's not easy. The gut is just its own thing, as you said. It is so complex. I can't blame Ami for venting about taxes. I'm on her side. Thanks, Christopher. Yeah, taxes are just, ugh. Like, is there not any other way we can deal with that? Like, or is there not, like, why do people in 2025, why are we still doing taxes? Is there, especially since everything is already automatically submitted to the IRS, they already know everything about us and what we do via our Social Security. Why can't we not just, why is it not automatically going there and taking out of our paychecks, and or why is there not any other system that automatically does everything? It is just such a unnecessary step, in my opinion. Pre and probiotics, I tried, fail. Yeah, I mean, if you have gut issues and you do a lot of prebiotics, a lot of fiber, that can also backfire, because maybe your gut is really in such a bad state that it can't handle the fiber, because a lot of damaged guts can handle a lot of fiber, which is like a downward spiral, because you will need fiber and probiotics for a healthy gut. But if you can't tolerate it, it's like looking for a job, but they all require you to have a lot of experience, but you gotta start somewhere, you know, you gotta make that experience first. Maybe that's a weird comparison, but kinda, I guess, like a good analogy, because you gotta start somewhere, but they're not letting you, you know what I mean? Diet. Yeah, Marco tried everything, I think he said. Yeah, I'll look more into it, Marco. I'm really interested in all that. stuff, and I had a lot of issues myself with histamine and all that, and I broke out into hives. Like I got like those, like my whole body was basically red and full of hives and like swollen from certain foods that I ate, like really looked crazy at times. So that's why I looked a lot into the gut stuff and microbiome and how to strengthen that. And I never struggled with anything like belly pain or anything, or like bad skin. I always had really good skin, so I'm lucky with that. But hives and stuff, like rashes on my body, can be really bad sometimes, but it usually goes away after a couple hours. But like my t-shirt says, go away. I'm just wearing that for the IRS today. I'm a C-section kid also. It's been said that I performed my own C-section, but that's the basis for more. It's a good thing that I eat lots of vegetables and legumes, it sounds like. Yes, for sure. Vegetables, legumes, beans, all very important longevity foods, and just in general good for you, fiber. Yeah, don't buy those fiber supplements, it's bullshit. Not insulting anyone that does take them. Like if you really need extra loads of fiber and it's a super easy way to get them, obviously better than not taking any. But just eat your vegetables and some beans, and you know, you can always like smuggle some beans into your food. Just mix them in your rice, or add some grains, or eat whole grain food, bread. I'm not talking about your American bread, that's not real bread. 3 years of nothing is working. Three years of nothing, Marco. So at the moment, are you doing the carnivore diet, Marco, still, or do you try something else? They gave me numbs everything but makes one dizzy. Oh, sorry. The government knows everything about us. Yeah, I agree. Because of our phones, and we just let it happen. It's just funny to see how like the whole thing evolved. First it was just phones, flip phones, and you know, nothing fancy. Now we got the Google Maps, so they basically know where we are anytime, any day, at any moment. We got those tracking apps where we track our family members, and they can obviously track us too. We got the cameras where people could technically always watch us anytime. The phones are always listening to us. You can tell by the advertisement. If you just talk to friends about something, next day you have the advertisement on your YouTube, right? Or on your phone. So always watching, always listening, probably reading what you're reading, sending to your friends, like what text messages you're sending to your friends, just assuming, but I guess our phones are an open book. People ask why I sometimes shake in my stream. It's the pure pain. Nevertheless, I try to cope. Wow, Marco, that's so sad. I'm sorry. That's crazy. I can't even imagine. Like I had pain in my hip today when I did my exercise class today for my elders for my seniors. So I had my yoga class this morning, and I was about to cancel it last night because I was walking the grocery store and had such bad hip pain, and I never have hip pain, and I'm way too young to have hip pain, so I was really confused what that was. And I can still feel it. It's super sore still. So it all the way like down to my leg, my sides, and my like booty, you know. And it really hurt. And today is a little bit better, but yeah, I have no idea what that was. So I think I just ate like crap the last couple of days. So maybe that's just inflammation or something. Thank goodness I have had any in my stomach. You haven't had any with your stomach? That's good. Yeah, you sound like a healthy guy, Christopher. I never have that distant promise, thankfully. and tells me that the fiber in dates seem to be very effective. Yeah, I think prunes are known for that effect, and dates maybe too. And maybe it's just because they were dried and they're just accumulating more of the things that have the lactative, no, not lactative, that's different. Lex, LAX something effect. You know what I mean. Did you ever type in scary in TikTok? Unbelievable what you will find. I have not, but I can definitely imagine, Marco, that you will find some very unbelievable weird stuff on TikTok in general. I can't do TikTok anymore. It drives me nuts when I just scroll for like a couple minutes, just because you don't know how much time you spend there. Like, you can be on there scrolling for like 3 hours and it will feel like 20 minutes to you. And that's the first scary thing about TikTok, in my opinion. And just the stuff that that's recommended is just so, I don't know, it's just like some people dancing, you know, like some young kids dancing, and it's always the same song, like just the 1 or 2 trending songs that everyone's using just to get more clicks. And I just can't stand it. I can't do it. Angela with AirTag. Oh, I thought you were talking about Angela Merkel. Or Angela Merkel. Did you actually? No, you didn't put that into the car in the bag. A root canal is Disneyland compared to chronic GI pain. Wow. And I know what I hear from people, root canals or tooth pain in general is like terrible. So I don't even want to imagine how GI pain has to be. Like, the first time I ever suffered from belly pain or stomach pain was 2 years in America, 2 years into America after living here for 2 years. So I think there's just some ingredients here in the food, and just the use of oils, like really cheap oils for frying. And yeah, that's the first time I ever had stomach pain. I didn't even know what that was, and people said they have stomach pain. But yeah, here in America I had it a couple times, but very rarely. For me, my symptoms are when I had too much histamine and my body's reacting. My cheeks get really red, my ears get red, my nose gets a little runny, and I get a headache, and then the hives on my arms and legs and back and everywhere basically. Marco, that sounds terrifying. Yeah, 100%, Rika. I'm really sorry. I wish we could do something. 3 gastroenterologists have dismissed me by now. They say it's all in my head. That's terrible. I mean, I bet psyche does play a role in, or it can show in like physical pain, but there has to be something else to it. Like, you know, because you do a lot of breathing exercise and relaxing exercises and all that, and yeah, I can't see that that's just in your head, and it's kind of like gaslighting at that point. Lots of YouTube exercises you can do to help with different muscles and joints. Yeah, and today actually helped this morning, so I'm glad I didn't call off my yoga class, because the stretching, we do a lot of stretching in my yoga class, and yoga in general, I mean, it's also stretching, and that helped a lot. So I think that contributed to me feeling better today. So I'm glad I did it. And I also have to go back to the gym more regularly, just, you know, to strengthen the muscles and stay fit and all that. And yeah, just to feel better overall. I think that's very important. Of course not. I know it's just a joke, Marco. It's like someone sticks red glowing in your gut. Ugh. That sounds terrible. I'm really sorry, Marco. I wish there was something we could do about it. I'll try to read into it since I'm interested in that stuff anyways. But I'm sure you already tried everything yourself since you're the one suffering from it. So the biggest thing I've ever actually been was a shuriken. Oh, you were actually, and it wasn't glowing, but how did that happen, shuriken? Was it an accident, like yourself, or did it come back at you like a boomerang, or did someone else accidentally throw it at you, or how did that happen? If you want to share, that sounds rough. I've seen those, and they look pretty like thick, so they must have left a big wound. I would give my car away for a solution. Wow, that means something if you give away the princess. I read so many books, trust me. Yeah, I don't doubt that you did. You're the one that has it, so you're trying everything to get rid of it, obviously. I don't know what you can do at that point. You really tried all kinds of diets and yeah, I would recommend, I mean, you probably also did that, fasting, but then again, once you eat again, it might come back, and you already said that you have so much, you lost so much weight already, so fasting might probably not be the best idea at that point. My face and nose gets inflamed as well. It's inflammation, and stress has a lot to do with it. I have this issue. Oh, you too? Yeah, I have the face inflammation too, like the red cheeks and runny nose after I eat. Depends on what I ate, but some certain foods. You might have also a little bit of a histamine sensitivity then. It's really just a genetical thing. It's if you don't have the enzyme DAO or DOA, I forgot. So if you have less of that genetically, you can't break down histamine as easily or tolerate as much histamine in your diet. So if you get hungover really fast from alcohol, or if you get red cheeks from drinking alcohol, that's a big sign. And stress for sure, I totally agree with that, Christopher, 100%. So my one stress symptom for me that shows me when I'm really stressed out is when I dream about water, like just being in like deep water. That's like my #1 dream symbol. And I have like ears that are throbbing, like my ears are kind of like pulsating, like I can hear like a throbbing sound in my ears, or I can feel them like closing and opening. That's one thing. And I get like a twitching eye sometimes when I'm really stressed, and sometimes I just get it randomly without even knowing that I'm stressed. So it's like an underlying stress, you know, just thinking about, worrying about things at home, like with my family, because I can't be there for them. Just with my dad being like not being well, and me being here and feeling like a piece of ass for not being there for them, but at the same time trying to have my own life and establish my own life and earn some money and, you know, be with my husband. That's like an underlying stress I always have. It's always with me. So it's kind of becoming like a chronic thing with my ears and my eye twitch. So I'm trying to incorporate some more of the breathing techniques that you said, Marco, or just some other stress relieving stuff and meditation. I really have to get back into that, but it's just not easy sometimes, right? If you have so much stuff to do and you don't really think about taking the time for doing some relaxing stuff for yourself, because it's like the last thing on your mind most of the time. Thanks for the hearts, guys. I still deny taking, the spiral to hell. Oh man. Intermittent fasting, 3 days of eating nothing. Okay, so you tried it all. I used to use wooden targets, and when they don't stick, the wood makes for really fast rebounds. Oh, rebound, okay. Just my hands to stop it and a couple times. Ooh, that sounds terrible. Try local honey, a small amount a day. Yeah, I heard that. A friend told me about it. I wasn't sure if that's gonna work, but yeah, that builds up the immune system, right? It makes it used to, or get used to the local pollen or weeds and everything. I should. I have some local honey here. I get all kinds of honey. My husband is a honey fanatic. I like honey too, but I don't eat it that often. So I have one maple honey, and then I have a local honey, like a wildflower honey from Tennessee. 100 cat springs arrived today. Your cats love those springs, don't they? Ours could not care less for them. How about you, Shuriken? Do your cats have a favorite toy that they play with? I've heard that local honey thing may be a myth after all. You think so? I mean, maybe it would be worth a try. So I love honey. I like drinking it in some homemade iced tea or something with some honey. It's so good. Some hibiscus or rosehip tea, and then with some ice cubes and then some honey. Yum. Hi, Richard. How are you doing? The next stream I will teach PMR. Okay, nice. Is it gonna be on Saturday, Marco? I think of it as algae related. It makes sense. Yeah, I think it sounds plausible, Christopher. I can definitely imagine that it's true. So I'll definitely try it. I'm just gonna make iced teas from now on without sugar and just a little bit of honey. I usually don't have much that I can eat honey with. I do have bread sometimes, and then I could put honey on that, but other than that, do you have anything that you like to eat honey with, Christopher? And do you do that, the honey every day or once in a while? I'm so bad with routines. Hi Frank, I'm doing okay. How about yourself? I'm just cleaning my kitchen right now, and I'm glad you guys are joining me, so at least it's fun and not boring. Honestly, I love cleaning the kitchen with you guys because it just goes by so fast, and I don't even think about cleaning the dishes when I'm reading and talking to you. If I was just standing here by myself, I would definitely not enjoy it. The Saturday stream will only be completely insane. Oh yeah, okay, so the weekend streams are the crazy ones. I got you. I would not be surprised if you had like 1,000 subscribers by the end of this month, Marco. Your weekend streams are really, they're crazy. And so many people, but it's really fun. It's hard to catch up or keep up with the chat, I have to say that, but as long as it's me and Shuriken or Ryan and maybe Danny if we need extra help, because he's really he's a fast one. Shuriken, you too. You guys you're both really great with keeping up with the chat and deleting and everything. Like whenever you guys are in my stream, I never read any troll comments, or I never get to them before you delete them. So I'm very glad about that. Are you on Insta? Yes, I am on Insta, but I don't know. You can check my profile here on YouTube. I might still have the Insta link to it, but I'm not sure. I haven't updated it in a while. That might be my YouTube description, but I think it's just my email at the moment. I'm not sure. You'd have to look. You don't want, I know. But I mean, just because it's a lot of people doesn't mean it's mainstream. You're still doing your own thing, right? So, and like I said, I'm really not worried about you doing mainstream, Marco. I think before that happens, your GI pill pain will go away. Sorry, I'm not trying to make a joke about it. Just trying to, take a bit of humor. I guess it's all we can do for now. But yeah, I hope you'll find a solution, Marco. I really do. Man, what was in this spoon? My husband does this like peanut powder stuff, and he always mixes his peanut butter with the peanut powder because it doesn't have fat. It's just the peanut, the protein, basically. And it gets so sticky if you don't wash that immediately. Same with tea. Like mugs, they always get that brown layer from the tea. I always got to scrub them. I suspect that my internet may be a pin slow, so I fear that I can't get to the back comments as fast as I would like. Oh no, at least for me, when you're here in my stream, I barely ever read any troll comments because I always see, sure, you can delete it, a comment, or, so don't worry, you're fast. Like, I'm a slow reader. I always, really take my time with reading your messages, so until I get to the trolls, you got a lot of time. Don't worry. We're slow here. I raise bees forever, and bees pollinate and make honey of whatever is available. For instance, locust trees early spring when algae really flared up. Oh yeah, those locust trees. That's awesome though that you raised bees. Man, I wish he would live closer to you. I would ask you to teach my husband because he would love to have bees one day. I would love to have them too. I just wouldn't love to be around them and do the honey thing because I'm scared of getting stung. I love seeing them in the garden, but I wouldn't approach a hive, I think. I'm too scared of needles. And so I'm also scared of bees or getting stung by bees. Just stepped on too many during childhood. But that's really awesome, Christopher, that you make honey. Very cool. The neighborhood is awesome. Listen to them chargers. That's so cool that you hear them, Marco. I don't even notice them anymore. They're just there for me. It's tickling my nose. It's terrible. My experience with bees stops at being stung by them. I was just repeating what I read in a scientific paper one time. Well, we never know. Even science is not always right. Always evolving, always disproving stuff, and yeah, you never know what's true and what's not. I feel like you just gotta help yourself and try things for yourself sometimes. Not saying that science is wrong. Of course, science definitely is there for a reason and very important. But yeah, maybe it even has a placebo effect, but even if it has a placebo effect, as long as it works, I always wonder why people are getting so upset about placebo effects. I'm like, well, if it's working for you, even if it's placebo, if the effects are there, better than nothing. Vroom, vroom. Yep, that's what we hear. There's a lot of young people here in this area. They all like to drive their chargers. The university and all that stuff around here. So you hear them on the Civics all night and day in the chargers. I'd love to teach you beekeeping. I would love that too. I wish we would live closer. Germans overanalyze the streams, paralyzes their analysis. Yep. Yeah, it's funny to, some comments are just funny in your stream, Marco, where they're like, what's happening here? He's crazy. He's doing weird stuff. I'm like, yeah, you don't have to understand everything. That's okay. You know what you can do? You can just keep scrolling until you find someone that does a Roblox live stream or something, you know? I don't know why people get so hung up or so upset about people's streams when they don't like it or they don't understand what's happening, or when they speak a different language. I'm like, you know how many people are on YouTube? You're telling me you can't find anything that you like instead? I do have a friend who does little beekeeping, and my hat's off to anyone who does. It sounds like complicated stuff. Oh, for sure. I believe it. Watch out for the beekeeper. Oh yeah, I still have to watch that movie, by the way. Would love to teach anyone about beekeeping. That's nice of you, Christopher. I'll come back to you once I want to get into it. I need a new thing. Appreciate the offer, Christopher. There's not many people out there that are willing to teach anything for free. Not anymore. Now I sound like good old times. Do we overanalyze stuff, Ami? No, you guys don't. I mean, nothing wrong with overanalyzing or analyzing things. I think we like to talk about a lot of things here on this stream and go really into depth with stuff. Last time, remember that one stream, guys, where we talked for, I think I said I want to keep it short today, and then in the end we talked for like 3.5 hours or something. So I guess we do analyze a lot here. Yay, Fanny is here. Hi, Fanny. The bright color rugby skirt. The skirt. Oh, Marco, if you wear the skirt, I don't know what's going to happen, but if you wear the shirt, it might be okay. I'm excited to see the skirt Saturday. I hear that the placebo effect is so strong that it continues to actually work even when the person in question knows there's a placebo involved. Wow, okay, I did not know that as soon as, even when you know it's placebo, that it will still work. I thought it would probably lose its effect at that point. But yeah, that's good, as long as it works. How is everything in Ohio, Fanny? Are you enjoying the clouds and the cold weather? Especially after Mexico? I bet you are. Hey, be funny, Fanny. Funny is always funny. Or insightful, or most of the times he's both, which is awesome. It's a gift that not many people have. Now that you mention it, Marco, the pressure is on. That's what I like to, or what I like to do with trolls. I like to put the pressure on them when they troll a lot, like the one guy, like the koala guy, do you remember from Marco's stream? He just kept coming with the silly comments, so I was like, okay, let's hear, koala, the stage is all yours, let's bring it on, let's entertain us, and better be funny. And oh, the person didn't say anything anymore, because there was nothing the person could say, because there's no intelligence or anything, or wit or funniness, cleverness, just hot air. But that's actually the worst, like when you're actually a funny person and you say to people that you think you're a funny person, and people are like, okay, well then it's your joke, and you're like, well, that's not how being funny works. Like, you're not telling jokes to be funny, you know, it's like a situational thing. Like, you can't tell people, like, or ask people to be funny. That's not how funny works. At least not in my opinion. Funny believes in the Ohio drought conspiracy too, huh? Just because it didn't rain for 2 days. Or did you get rain today? Didn't it rain today in Ohio? It rained in Tennessee yesterday. So we definitely had some rain. So I assume it went all to Ohio by now. And yes, Funny's in Ohio, Christopher. So we are the Ohio gang now. I think the most people here are from Ohio, which is funny because we started off with only one person from Ohio, and now Ohio is taking over the chat. Anyone else from Ohio here? Any other Ohioans? Ohioans? Don't even say. We had rain today in the morning. It was 4 degrees. Wind chill, and that's depressing to say the least. Well, you should have stayed in Mexico, Funny. No one forced you to come back. Funny lives near Cleveland, Ohio. I remember the koala guy. Poor guy fell from the tree the moment you put him on a spotlight. I know, poor guy. I felt a little bad for him. He was really upset. But at the same time, at that point, like, I tried to be nice and it didn't work. So I was like, all right, let's try some other method then. Same with that guy with the flag, like the Confederate flag, kind of idiot guy. He was the worst in my opinion. Like, he was really below the belt line. Like, he was just simply stupid. And I usually don't say that, you know me. Like, I really try to give everyone a chance, but he just wouldn't let go. I was in the Ohio Cleveland Clinic too for GI. Oh. It stormed and rained. The Ohio drought. Rained in Ohio. Good for the plants. Let's think positive. The plants need the rain. I think my best friend is in Ohio, but right now was a couple days ago. Lives in Pennsylvania. Nice. I always mixed up Pennsylvania with Transylvania when I was a kid. I always thought the vampires come from Pennsylvania. So I always got that confused. But who knows? Maybe they are. Have you ever seen any? And then have you ever not seen any? So Mark, Ohio is the American Sahara. Drought so much that it's just damp everywhere. Thought of going for a run? Well, you thought, but Ohio knew better, Funny. No run for this guy. Better luck next time. That's a well-known hospital. Okay, so you went to a good place, Marco. You're gonna get stuck in clay and mud, Funny. That's interesting too, Ken. The way you phrased it. Is worse relationship. They wither slowly and then stop suddenly, don't they? Yeah, you're telling me, Funny. I got some of those too. It really happened like in the last year or so that the best friend relationships really turned into friend relationships. Like, obviously still friends, I still love them all. But, you know, living in a different country for many years and no one ever showing up there, even though you had a lot of things, like really sad things going on in your life for many months, stressful things, and no one ever showing up, definitely puts a little, it's like a bummer a little bit, you know. But at the same time, you can't really expect anyone to come because you are the one that left, you know. But then again, if my best friend would have left to another country, you could bet your sweet bippy that I would have gone there, you know, if they were in trouble. So, but then again, you shouldn't have expectations because expectations are not really doing anything for anyone. But is it possible to not have expectations? I don't know. Hard topic. But yeah, like what you said, they wither slowly and then stop suddenly. I hope they don't stop, but yeah, wither slowly. Thanks for the hearts, by the way. I always see them. Very cute. There was an episode of The Simpsons where they made Pennsylvania vampire joke. Oh really? Oh cool, nice. I'm not the only one then. The Rocky Horror Picture Show in Pennsylvania. As long as it doesn't snow in the living room, it's all good. Yeah, I guess that's a good point. Could always be worse. But never say never in Ohio. I'm waiting for that moment in your live streams. There is a high likelihood that I will choose to leave Ohio soon if this continues for the next 6 months or more. My wife needs to work from a different location. But you're working remote anyway. Okay, well, if you don't have anything that's holding you in Ohio necessarily, let's come to Tennessee then. Right? Funny, I think you may have misinterpreted my message. Me and this guy have been friends since we were 10. We still stay in contact every day. Oh, every day? Wow, that's really cool. Yeah, I was like that with my... Thanks, Marco, I appreciate it. I was like that with my best friends from Germany too, that we would text every single day. Then it stopped a little bit when all of us got busy with new jobs, husbands, fiancés, lives in different countries. It slowly got less, and then I'm at the point where I don't get much out of text conversation anymore. I'm at that point in my life at the moment where texting is not what I like to do, especially when you have work and then YouTube and you have conversations on YouTube and everything, and yeah, work, your life at home. Texting is really just, it becomes like a task almost, you know, when you feel like you need to respond to everyone in a text. It's like emailing, like doing email work when you come home from work. So I think I would probably prefer phone calls at that point, or FaceTime calls. Or if they would be in the live stream and just have like a normal conversation, you know, like we do. You're lucky. I thought the guy was no longer in your contact. You're lucky. Oh yeah, you just misread. I'm glad to hear that too, Shuriken, that you're still friends. And every day, that's really awesome. Good for you guys. But no way you're gonna manage to get out of Ohio, Funny. Right? Let's see if the conspiracy is true. Marco's statement that you will never get out of Ohio. Funny is gonna be our test person. The aliens are gonna keep you there with their magnetic whatever. I can't think of it. He's more like family at this point. I had a few of those too in Germany, but even those are yeah, it's definitely a little different, you know, after a few years being in a different country. Unfortunately, I have a very important question to you, Ami. Oh, another one of those. Like I said yesterday, I'm glad that I already know you, Funny, because Marco knows if people say I have an important question to you in a live stream, you can be very sure that it's going to be something either extremely weird or disturbing. But I know Funny is going to ask something normal. What to do in Ohio? Quiz. Sit inside the house and wait until the weather gets better, and still leave. Ohio is actually a good state. I love it here. That's good. See, we got someone who likes it. Christopher is all for Ohio, so it cannot be that bad. If Christopher likes it, I'm sure there's a lot of good stuff happening in Ohio. I trust Christopher's judgment. I hate the potholes. People are very nice too. The potholes are a thing here too. So I think that's probably Midwestern, southern
thing. Man, oh man, that word. TH and Germans are not a good combination. People are honest. How do wives know that their husbands leave the light in bathroom on? Through a sixth sense, do you also know intuitively when your hubby leaves it on? My wife at this point thinks I have dementia. That's funny. I think we just know for a fact that you don't turn it off. And me, for example, for me it's the bathroom fan. When I tell him to turn on the bathroom fan, it's the light, he turns it off, but the bathroom fan, when he takes a shower, he always turns that one off too with the light. So I'm always like, fan. And he's like, the same as you just said. He's like, how do you even know? Like, you're like in the kitchen. How do you know I didn't put on the fan? I was like, first of all, I know you didn't. And secondly, I didn't hear I can hear the sound, if he turns them both off or not. Like, I have like a special hearing for those kind of thing. And maybe your wife does too. It's funny. Maybe she just like developed those like special skills, So either looking through the walls, or she has that special hearing too, where she can hear if you turn it on or not. We know there's no escaping. If people announce the question ahead of time, it's usually bad news. But we know that Funny isn't a troll, even though he claims that he is, in spite of his insistence that he is, yes. Well, Funny, good try. You're not a troll for us. Try harder. Shredded 2 super expensive racing rims in Ohio. Ooh, that's rough. I identify as a troll. Oh, let's not start that topic. That will get, yeah. That's hysterical. Em and I have a really different kind of vibe. It wouldn't feel like a telepathy of times, as crazy as that sounds. That doesn't sound crazy, that sounds cool. I have that with friends too, the telepathy thing, or at least we feel like that. But yeah, I definitely felt Funny's message for sure. There's definitely some things that I keep telling my husband, and he will always like do them again or forget about them again. It's just but I think that's part of marriage, you just get used to each other's quirks and things that they forget, or that they, none of us is perfect, so I guess it's just part of learning about each other and being forgiving and patient and all that good stuff. But it's not always easy. How are you? I'm doing good. How about you, my favorite? That's a funny name. For me, the telepathy works just for my wife. She instantly knows when I forgot something, I do something stupid, or I do something incomplete. That sounds just like someone I know. Do something incomplete. Yeah. Say hi to your wife for me, Funny. I feel her. One-sided telepathy, that must be rough, brother. Yeah, it's fun. All been there. Or, yeah, I did. I understand. But as much as I get those things that annoy me, I'm sure my husband has many things that he thinks are annoying about me too. So I guess it goes both ways, We're just humans after all. We have the tendency to do annoying stuff. There's so many memes about those sink leftovers. And they always make me gag when I see them. Like last time I saw one, it was like cleaning shorts or something, and someone took out the stuff from the sink and put it in a salad bowl or like a bowl, and like put some like ranch dressing on it and acted like he was eating it. I almost threw up watching that. It was just such a gross thing or thought, just thinking about it. Ugh. Ohio is a beautiful state. I came back after many years. A season for all reasons. That's good. I'm glad you like it, Christopher. What's your favorite thing about Ohio? Since we're already at it. I couldn't even answer that question about Tennessee, so I always ask people questions that I couldn't even answer myself. I need to stop doing that. I need to stop asking people that kind of stuff. I'm trying to grow roots on this little plant. And change the water. Also, thank you guys so much for watching and liking my Florida vlog. I appreciate it. And the second part will be posted tomorrow or Thursday. Either one of those days. Tomorrow might be a little bit busy because I'm working all day, but I'll cut the video after the live stream. I won't be able to finish it because it takes me forever to cut videos, but I'll continue tomorrow, so I hope Thursday latest it will be up. Yeah, just the second part of the camping vlog. Random Java sounds like a really intense statement, especially coming from a teddy bear. Java. I was like, Java? Oh no, I get it. Java. I need that on my merch, Java, and you all will know what it means. Knock knock, who is there? There was one funny joke on South Park where they talked about Germans making jokes, and one was like, knock knock, who's there? And then it says, I forgot what it says, I mean, it's so stupid, but it was almost funny because it was so stupid. What was it? It was like, knock knock, who's there? A butcher going into a bakery or something, and then it said, next joke. It's basically saying that Germans don't have any sense of humor. Ohio is definitely a beautiful state and welcomed us quite well. I don't speak politics, but I've never felt safer to live where all I have around are hardcore. Very nice person. I'm glad to hear that you felt safe, or you feel safe and welcomed. That's how it should be. Cylinder number 7. Oh, is it always the one that's broken? By the way, Marco, I think you were right when you said you can hear a cylinder knocking. I think it was actually something like that, even though we didn't want that to happen, but I think we'll have to look into that. So you have a good ear for that stuff. And you hear the chargers here, so you in general have very good ears. Ohio weather. The weather I love, reasonable price on living where I was born. Okay, so you like the, like you said, you like all the seasons, you like the different weather, and it just keeps it exciting, I guess. I can see that. I do like having all the seasons here too. I think living in a place like Florida or California where it's always warm might be, I don't know if I would enjoy that. Probably not. I think I do like the seasons a lot too. That reminds me, I need to keep filming on the first tea video. Oh, you gotta, yeah, I checked your channel a couple days ago to see if you uploaded a video, if I have missed it, like a new one. But yeah, I know the struggle, Shuriken. I know it just too well. I lived in California for 18 years, so I'm spoiled brat. See? Yeah, you lived there for 18 years, so now you deserve all the bad weather in Ohio because you got all the good weather in California. No one can have too much of the good stuff for too long. That would not be fair for the rest of us. I'm waiting for the rest of the joke. Do you want me to say cylinder no 7 who? I can tell almost anything by an engine sound. Yep, I can tell. Because usually my husband's really good with listening to the car stuff, and I mean, he fixes our cars all the time. But yeah, you heard it first, so really it points to Slytherin. Needs a lifter adjustment, very likely. Huh. Okay, I'll let him know. I look forward to that, and you'd be better at visiting all your channels and going through the videos without seeming to be a star. But yeah, it can come off like that. I definitely understand. Funny. I think none of us will, at that point, we all know each other very well now. I don't think any of us will think we are stalkers of any sort. So I think you're good to go. It's different if you're just like a new person, and then suddenly liking like 58 videos or something, and commenting under all of them with like 5,000 hearts, or if you check out the channels after knowing us for quite a while now. I haven't filmed a shuriken jutsu video in a while either. I'm running out of ideas. I don't think you're running out of ideas. I think it's just, maybe you are. I'm not trying to tell you what you do and what you don't do. You will know best. But you're just such a creative person, so I don't think you're like really running out of ideas. Maybe it's just not burned out, but sometimes if you do a lot of things that are in the same, like the same stuff, if you do that for a while, you just get you're just in a period where the creativity is in a slumber state. That's it happened to me when I was working as a recipe creator and a food photographer. I was like super motivated, and I had so many great ideas that really blew up, and my boss was really happy, and he made a lot of money with my stuff. But then after like 250 recipes, you're like, you know what, I hate this, or I didn't hate it, but I just needed a break. And I think that's very normal. So California was beautiful. I was stationed there for 2 years. Oh wow, lucky. Being stationed in California could definitely be worse than that. Funny, that reminds me, I've been meaning to ask you if you like tea, and if so, what kind of tea you make. Oh yeah, funny, I need some more cooking videos of you, by the way. As you know, I love Indian food, and if you could make if you like chai, or if you could make a video about that, I would love that. And I think Shuriken would like that too. California went down around 2018. I immigrated here in 1999. Never run out of crazy ideas. I know you have so many great ideas. For me, I have ideas, a lot of ideas, and I always write them into my notes, or not always, but most of the times. But doing them or putting them into a project, or actually doing or filming it, is a whole nother story. Just because I still have so much material, like video material, that I need to cut into a video from Germany and all that stuff, and even some camping videos still that I really wanted to do, or make into a video. So I feel like I need to do those first before I keep filming. Like a writer's block, yeah, very possible. Yeah, I think it might be something like that, so I wouldn't be too worried about it. Maybe you really just need to take a step back and just wait until it comes back and you feel like it again. You can't force it. That's the thing with creativity. Unfortunately, you can't force it, because that's not how it works, even though it'd be nice if it did, but I guess it doesn't. I do like tea a lot. Fun fact about Funny: worked in world's second largest tea manufacturer as an operational auditor. Oolong and white tea, also Kenyan Pico. That's awesome. Cool. Here we got another tea lover here, Shuriken, with us. Nice. As far as I know, Shuriken loves white tea too, and oolong. I like oolong as well. I have really nice, or I had a very nice oolong. Now I only have an Earl Grey that has oolong mixed into it. But I do like it too. Where were you in California? I love Northern California. I've never been. I would love to travel there just for the redwood trees, just to see that, and just in general, San Fernando. Marco having crazy ideas, it's like ocean having salt, never runs out. Yeah, I agree. Funny. I prepare nothing, no notes, no nothing, just my brain. That's, I wish I was less of an overthinker, because when I have ideas, I always overthink them and I'm always procrastinating. So I'm like, I get this idea, but I feel like today is not the day for it. I'll do it tomorrow when I have more time, or when I look less tired or shitty after work, you know, and then I never do it. So I always miss the moment or the momentum. But I feel like you just go for it. You just, you know, you get the idea and you just put it into action, and it's awesome. And it's awesome. It feels very authentic and like spontaneous, so that makes it extra cool and funny. So that's really good, Marco. Funny, that's awesome. Oolongs and whites are some of my favorites. I knew it. Though Em and I found a good sale and got a bunch of Shang Pu'er tonight with the current situation seemed wise. Yeah, I'm thinking about maybe I have to order some tea before I'm running out. I was planning on using it up first, but yeah, with the current situation, it will only get worse from now on, I guess. Hi Talha, how are you doing? I mean, have you ever had sun tea in a glass gallon jar? Best tea ever? I haven't, no, sun tea in a glass gallon jar. Where do you get that, Christopher? Or are you making that yourself? North Hollywood Skid Row. I'm gonna go to California too, but it's probably gonna be a while until I go there. I believe that's Chinese herbal tea, mostly non-roasted green. It'd be nice with a Chinese clay pot at the right temperature. Funny is a tea expert. He just showed us. My arms hurt. Java Ock. I just read Java Ock again. Make it in your own jar in the sun. Oh, like fermenting it, Christopher, or like drying it, like your own tea. How would you compare Germany with China? Oh, very different. Two very different things. I loved living in Germany or growing up in Germany, but I also loved living in China. Everyone in China is very welcoming, very they like to go outside a lot. People are always out on the street doing something in a park, eating out with friends in restaurants, very socializing, or very much into socializing. And it's just such a beautiful landscape and nature there, and such a rich history and culture, so there's always something you can do. Yes, I did. I lived there for a while, so I had to, but I also wanted to, so I tried a lot. I lived in northern China, so in Beijing, and my favorite 西红柿炒鸡蛋, that was my favorite. Chinese fried, or not fried, tomato and eggs just super simple, but so delicious. I almost ate that every day. That was my favorite. And jiaozi, just dumplings, were always my favorites. Definitely not tala. I would never try that, not in a million years. But yeah, I know it's a thing for some people, but it's not very common. I'm an expert at all. I've been lucky to travel the tea producing regions to taste them fresh from garden. What the funny, that sounds like our dream job. My specialization was supply chain of tea and coffee. Wow, that would be my dream. Imagine me as a Chinese speaker going to China and going to try some teas and work with like a American business or something. That would be my dream. Lucky, lucky, lucky. Funny, insightful, and lucky. But that sounds really interesting. Funny, you need to tell us more about that one day, but I'm at 1% right now. Funny, Shangpu'er is a true tea. Guys, I'm gonna get my charger real quick. Just in time. Weird, 1%, guys. 1%. I hope my phone can stand up like this. I didn't want to interrupt you guys' conversation. Scorpions. There was scorpions on skewers, Talha. I saw scorpions in China and people eating scorpions, yes. But I didn't eat it myself. I could... I'm sorry, guys. I could never eat a scorpion. For many reasons. How about yourself? What is your favorite, Talha? Visiting the tea gardens and tasting the teas fresh must have been an absolute amazing experience. Oh yeah, for sure, I believe so. China was one country I could not go. I'm an Indian and we had visa restrictions. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's not easy. I know, they are very specific sometimes. Time to troll. Army's gone. Get the trolls out. Funny, do you like masala chai? Michael, did you visit Inglewood when you were in Cali? My favorite German city, Talha, is my favorite, probably where I come from. Close to or in Black Forest. I don't really have one favorite German city. They all have their good and bad parts. So yeah, Munich is one. I was just checking whether you read Chinese also. Yeah, of course. I do. Otherwise I wouldn't have passed my I couldn't have graduated in Chinese if I wouldn't be able to speak Chinese or read Chinese. I had to write all my texts and papers in Chinese. China and India had a little bit of border dispute in 2018, 2019, and the tensions were high back then. We had travel advisory against traveling there. That sounds most unsettling. Oh yeah. Yeah, I heard about the border dispute. I feel like it's like an ongoing thing. It's been a thing for a while. And they have a lot of border disputes in general. So my university class has 80% Chinese students. where, in what country you tell her, and what class is it? What is it about? Are you studying Chinese? Because you just texted to me in Chinese, so you speak Chinese too, I assume. State, Michigan State, nice. I've never been to Michigan. I just heard that it gets really cold up there, but that it's really beautiful, a lot of lakes. The desert was beautiful and definitely weird. Oh, Saudi Arabia and Iraq, crazy spiders and creepy things in Saudi Arabia. Oh, really? Okay. I didn't think they would have so many crazy spiders in the desert, especially. That's interesting to hear. So, what time were you in Iraq, Christopher, if I may ask? I just remember me and my husband, we watched that movie Warfare in the movies. I can't speak anymore, movies. And it was really, really crazy, but good. Like, it was very non-heroic and very, not down to earth, but not blockbuster style. It was very raw and very realistic from what I would assume would be realistic. I've never been there, so obviously I don't know. But it was a really good movie. I can really recommend. But if you had some very bad experiences in those countries or in the military, it's probably not the best movie to watch, I guess. I've heard that a lot of soldiers who spent time in the desert came back with stories about paranormal events even. Yeah, my husband, he was in the desert for a couple, for like weeks, not months or anything. I think it was just a couple weeks. I assume maybe it was month. I have to ask him again. But he was in the desert too, and they had to drive around. They actually got lost with those desert trucks or those big trucks, and they had to drive for 3 days straight without sleep, just to train them to stay awake and to operate under like crazy conditions or like bad conditions. So he had to drive 3 days straight, and they lost signal at one point because there was no signal out there, so they got lost. And he said he heard the weirdest, craziest things out in the desert when you're in the middle of nowhere, just you and your buddy or like 2 people with you. And he said he'll never forget those sounds that he heard out there. Hi, Brian. How are you doing? Where are you from, Brian, if you want to tell us? I've heard that a lot of soldiers. Anybody has seen the California smash and grab? I haven't seen that. Chinese teas, except for luxurious market, is commercially unviable for tea portfolios. Cost, use of pesticides banned in the EU. Most Chinese tea in market are from Vietnam and Indonesia. Yeah, I was wondering how Chinese teas would do in Europe because of the banned pesticides, because they still have a lot of things in their ground from the past, even if they already banned some of it themselves. Like, I wrote a lot of my university papers in Chinese about Chinese agriculture, and one of them was about pesticides and in the rice production and also tea production, and just reading about that or reading into that was really interesting. But it really made me switch to buying rice, for example, from California, or when I'm in Germany, I buy it from European places, if possible. Crazy spiders in Iraq. I was in Desert Storm 1. Oh, wow. Okay. I bet the spiders weren't the only crazy thing you've seen there then. No issues with me, Ami. Okay, I'm glad to hear that, Christopher. That sounds right, certainly. Wakey, wakey. I guess they probably had to do something like that. Crazy Bedouins with black harsh about the crazy things I saw. Are you seen? I cannot even imagine being there during those times. It must have been very eye-opening, Christopher. Smash and grab gang, there's a stone truck crashed into the store. Cleans out the whole store before cops arrive. Guys, I'm gonna pick up Oscar real quick. I can hear that he's trying to jump off the bed and he's not supposed to do that. Look who's here, special guest. Have you seen or participated in events that you're not legally supposed to talk about? I've heard Desert Storm. Yeah, Christopher, weren't you in Kosovo as well? If I remember that right. Mr. O, I like that name. Oscar, you get a second or another nickname, Mr. O. I call him Mr. Oats sometimes because he likes to eat oats, or Mr. Oak. Zucchini. You want squash? You want some squash? Say hi to Funny, hi to Christopher, hi to Shuriken, hi to Mako, and whoever is in the stream here as well. Time to troll. Go ahead. I won't be able to read it when I'm gone. Shanty. Oh. You know. You're a good boy. Mama loves you. Shoo-wee. Fishy, stinky fish breath. Shoo-wee, Oscar. One day I want to turn into a Tennessean trucker and make a video like that. I'm gonna be Tucker the trucker with my mustache. You know that picture that I posted? And I'm Oscar gonna be my travel buddy, my trucker buddy. And we'll be Tennessee trucker dudes. Kosovo was horrible. Oh yeah. So I remember right that you were in Kosovo. I'm sorry. Cannot imagine being in a war or in a country during a war. I'll once come to live alive. I want to pick your brain on that stuff. We'll do one day. For sure, we gotta make a live stream dedicated to your life, Christopher, and you can tell us all your stories, but you gotta have you gotta train your fingers first because you'll have to do a lot of writing then. If you're okay with that. Okay, bye Marco. Good night. We'll see you tomorrow. I assume that you're gonna stream. Maybe if not, we'll see you Saturday or whenever in your shorts, or not in your shorts, that sounds very wrong, but watching your shorts, sorry. You know what I mean. Ethnic tensions are not good. Yeah, tensions in general just suck. I wish people would just be nice to each other and just work it out in a different way instead of having war and all that stupid medieval stuff. You don't like it with milk? Fascinating. Do you prepare your own? I always like to learn how to make the traditional teas. Me too, Shuriken. And funny, I wish you could do some shorts about that, like just some tea related stuff. And same with you, Christopher. I wish you had a channel, you know, where you show some gardening and some tips and tricks and all that. Do you rap in Chinese? Take a wild guess. I listen to Chinese rap sometimes, or listen to a lot of Chinese music, but I would not say that I rap in Chinese. Well, I sing along sometimes when I listen to rap, but my Chinese is, I'm not that great for me to be able to rap myself. Do you rap in Chinese, Taha? I love to do that. Nice. Love to do that. That's cool, Christopher. I'm glad. Ah, Oscar. Can you see him in the corner? Okay, Christopher, one day when you're ready for that, we'll dedicate a live stream to you. Since you don't do the live streams yourself, you can gladly use my live stream for your stories. I'm so happy someone wants to hear this too. Of course, they're always interested. 祝你生日快乐，祝你生日快乐. That's enough. Masala chai is the only kind of tea that ever sees milk or sugar in my household. You wouldn't drink an Earl Grey with a little bit of milk? Sure you can. It's so good. Christopher, I'm a history and psychology enthusiast, so would love to have tea one day. That's cool. I love how we all have very similar interests and like so many different interests that are similar, which is really cool. So I'm glad you all have, you know, because sometimes people like to watch videos or live streams that only have like one topic. So I'm glad you all like different things as well. And I feel like there's always something interesting we can all talk about or share our experiences. So Tala, you still haven't told me what you're doing at Michigan State in your class. And you said you have 80% Chinese, so I'm wondering what major it is, or what, I don't know how you call it in America. For us, it's just like a subject that we study. Marco just posted something, making tea. Okay, I'm excited to watch this. I hope it's funny. Christopher would... Oh. Speaking of tea, the greatest transition of topics, what are the plans for Easter? So our plan for Easter, usually when I was in Germany, when I was back home, my dad would, don't laugh at me, I still did it. Not too long ago, my dad would always hide Easter eggs and stuff in the garden, and at 5 in the morning before the sun rose. And me and my sister would look for Easter eggs, even like in the 20s. So that would have been my plan for Easter if I was in Germany, but since I'm not, we are just having an Easter breakfast with friends, and I believe we are doing some fundraising with that, if I'm not wrong. Like it's like at where I work, and I don't know if we do the fundraising or not, or if it's just a free meal for people. I think it's at that point it's just a free meal for people. I have to talk about or with them about it again. But yeah, that's what we're gonna do, and then after that we'll have some lunch with people, our friends. Nothing super fancy, but hopefully it's fun, or I'm sure it will be. How about yourself? Any Easter plans? Do you do any Easter traditions or any like decorations, anything like that? Do you do like the Easter egg painting or Easter eggs dyeing? Like not dyeing, but like color dye. We always did that in Germany. We always boiled them and then we dyed them in the evening before Easter Sunday. I would drink an Earl Grey with milk or lemon, but I even enjoy that one straight. Yeah, I do enjoy it straight too. Good job. You want to be up here again? Okay. But with milk is just something, it's just a treat with milk if you add it. History needs to be held accountable. I agree. Thanks for sharing. Of course. Thank you guys for sharing. Funny, we're having a small family dinner on Sunday. 8 people. Not many crazy plans. Her ancestor carrot cake. Oscar, are you eating a zucchini? This is my charger. You cannot eat that, okay? You can have a squash. You want a squash? Ooh, it's good. Oscar loves squash for some reason. Don't worry, guys. I'm gonna use that squash for him tomorrow, anyways. You become a vegetarian like mommy? Are you vegetarian now? Yay! That sounds really fun, Shuriken. That sounds cozy. Nothing better than having food together. And carrot cake. Like, can I get any better? I don't think so. We went to my mother-in-law's and ate good food and enjoyed the holiday. Nice. Very cool. I'm glad you did. Oscar, you're crazy. You actually like that raw? Huh? I'm glad you all spending time together with family or friends. Em and I call it Easter eggs tonight. Oh, cool. Just a dozen, but we decorate them with wax pencils. I love that. I haven't done that in a while, so he just likes to like munch on them and then he just spits it out. You're a funny fella, Oscar, aren't you? Da. She just makes little pieces. You guys should see us sometimes when I have movie nights with Oscar and my husband. I just sit on, we have 2 chairs, like 2 lounge chairs, and then my husband sits on one and I sit on one with Oscar, like share my chair with Oscar. And then we have some peanuts. That's why I sometimes call him Peanut, because he loves peanuts. And he likes the ones with the peel, like the peanuts that are still in the shell. So he just sits there, so I put like a kitchen towel under him, and then he will, he can like eat the peanuts, like he can get them out of the shell, so he like bites into them, and he keeps or holds some of his claws, I guess, and he just eats the inside of the peanut. And you should see the mess he leaves behind, like all the peanut shells are everywhere, and then it's just us 2 munching our peanuts together. Obviously not the salted ones, like the dry roasted ones, but he loves that. He's so cute, I agree. Oscar, you're getting all the compliments. Look at that mess he made. All the little pieces here. We're gonna clean that. He's a charismatic little fellow. I couldn't agree more with that. He definitely is. He's the most charismatic dog I had. You're special, Oscar. You're a special man. We never, man, reading is hard. An Easter back in India, because there are very less Christians where I used to live. Easter was simply just responding back to life. I like that. Even I've been to Easter Mass in church though. Very cool. Oh yeah, I'm gonna go to Easter Mass too. That just reminded me. Yeah, it makes sense. In India, that there's not that many Christians there, or in certain areas at least. I remember in China I went to a lot of temples, like Buddhist temples, but churches are very rare. I went to one mosque once just to see how it is in China. You know how they have like the service there and how it looks like, out of interest. But most often I would just go to Buddhist temples because they were everywhere. But Christian churches, I've rarely seen any now that I think of it. But I've been a non-religious person for most parts of my life, especially when I lived in China. I didn't have any religion back then that I would count myself, or I would not really, I don't know. It's not that I never believed in anything back then, but I never really had I don't know, the drive to go there or the urge. But yeah, looking back, I don't remember seeing many churches, like Christian churches in China at all. I think I seen one, but maybe I just didn't look out for them. So I bet I would have seen some more if I looked around. Was it an Easter by chance the one that takes place in the night before? Aww. Thank you so much, Christopher. I appreciate it. I wish I could send some hearts here in the chat, but I can't. I appreciate it though. I'm so glad you guys are here too, and you definitely contribute to the channel so much in like all the good ways. And I probably wouldn't do as many live streams if it wasn't for you guys, just because I know we always have so much cool stuff to talk about. And yeah, if you guys weren't here, I probably would stream like once a week or so and not almost every day. So I thank you guys for that. And we went, Shuriken and anyone else that goes to church sometimes, did you do the stations before, like in the Catholic church, when they do the stations? We did that last Friday after the fish fry. And talking about the one that happens before, the night before, we had that in the Catholic village where I grew up. I could always hear them. Me as a kid back then, I thought it was really like not spooky, but definitely interesting to go to our church. It was very close to where I lived, so I only had to walk up the hill, and the church was up there, and I could hear all the Catholics in church not chanting, but almost sounded like a chant. They just kept repeating. I don't know what they were chanting because I never really participated in the Catholic religion back then. And it was also spooky because they had the lights turned off, it was dark in church, and they would do that all night long until the light or the sun rose in the morning. So that was very interesting, very intense. Looking forward to my first Easter Sunday in Ohio and see where that takes us. The theology and philosophical concept are pretty fascinating. I agree. This is my second year with the Christian belief. It's the second year now. A year and a couple months, so I'm into my second year. So I'm excited where it takes me, and it gets more fascinating the more I look into it and the more I surround myself with it. Because I feel like people have a lot of misconceptions about it, and it's very crusty, old, dusty image of it, but it really isn't that. And I think the message behind it is really beautiful and not what many people think that don't really look into it, but they have that preconception of it. It was a Syrian Catholic church, and they had a procession in the night with a big cross and priests walking the parish in the Sunday morning mass. Oh wow, that sounds really cool. They will have something here on Friday where we're gonna go, where they do like a reenactment. Lots of awesome parishes in Ohio. Very cool. Yeah, Ohio is a very Christian state too. I guess the whole here too, the Bible Belt. I think we're part of the Bible Belt here in Tennessee. haven't done the stations in a while. Actually, I should rectify that. I never did them before. I wasn't sure if I'm gonna like it, especially since I'm not a Catholic myself. But I did really like it because it really gets you in the mood, and you know, just reading about it and immersing yourself in it for like, I don't know how long it was, like almost an hour, just really like makes you aware of what you know, he had to endure and how shitty people can be, you know. It just makes you very, very humble, in my opinion. Unseen India is amazing. I could walk into a church and have the holy bread, a sip of wine that they give us. We used to break together down and just would celebrate Hindu festivals. Do you ever miss it, funny? You know, your like India. I love that the Lutheran community came together with the Catholic community and spent Easter together. Not in communion, but in faith. Yes. Yeah, didn't we talk about that not too long ago? That it should be more like that they come together in faith and you know, it's just, I don't know, I wish we would do more together. It's all over the place in general. Interesting. It definitely is, yeah. I think that would be really, really interesting to study that in university and like theology and really go in depth. So maybe one day when I'm old and I have a lot of time, I'll go back to Germany and do that, you know, just to learn. We had a lot of people in our university too in Germany, older folks that would enroll just after retirement, just to learn, you know, to have something to do. I'll show you some cute. Your knee fell, Mr. Rust. Oh. He's so cute. That's his tummy, indeed. I'm not religious, nor subscribe to any God, but I'm a very spiritual person and love theology and religious text. And I miss India because average American choose soul and welcoming. I would have considered myself what you just described, funny, for the most part or for the longest time, spiritual and open-minded to everything and interested in everything, religious and spiritual, but not subscribed, as you said, to any God. I like that. Wouldn't it be cool if God had a YouTube channel? But yeah, I was the same, but the longer I'm here in America, the more it really brought me to Christianity. I was very immersed in Chinese philosophy because I really liked it a lot. I still do. I wouldn't say that I like it less now that I consider myself a Christian, but look at that plant, by the way. It's growing like crazy. But I feel like sometimes I think there was a reason that I came to America. Maybe it was the only reason for me to, you know, learn about Christianity again, because it's such a Christian country here and it's so present everywhere. And I feel like in Germany I would have not come back to the belief. Shuriken, it is an awesome ceremony in Ohio. Indeed. I love theology.
Yes, yeah, it is amazing. By the way, I watched a movie yesterday, or 2 days ago, actually, The King of Kings, the Charles Dickens story of him telling the story of Jesus to a child. The Lord of Lords, I think, is the original Charles Dickens book, or telling the story of the Lord or something. And I really liked it. It was made by Koreans, so it was Korean animation, and Koreans are usually really good with animations and movies. So I was excited for it, and it did not disappoint. It was really good. So even for adults, I think it's worth watching. Nothing wrong with subscribing to religion too. All of us have a need to identify with something that's bigger than us, which gives us support and belief in times of struggle and solitude. Yes, it's that, and for sure, it definitely gives you some, not structure, but or maybe like a guideline for some people even. Like I think some people really like that part about it too. Just like some people need some moral guidelines, or like a reason why they do or shouldn't do something. Was the A stuck down there? But yeah, definitely in times of struggle it comes in handy, but I think it's also really important to appreciate it in times where things are not bad but good, you know. And I'm at a point now where I can appreciate it in the good times as well, and it just feels good. It just speaks to me, and I haven't had that in most of my life, so I'm really happy about it. It gives a system, a process for living in our life. Yes, I agree. It's still hard for me to completely like adapt and immerse myself in it because it's still so new to me, and I still have I'm a very skeptical and doubtful person, unfortunately. So I still have to overcome this. I'm a little bit of a Thomas sometimes, but I guess it is human or normal, and it's part of it. The guidelines leads us to deep thinking and loving all. Yes. Totally. So do you believe in something? Or do you just believe in snacks? Snakes are your master, aren't they? Yeah. Or you're the master of the snakes. He completely eliminated that bag of dried fish I had for Oscar in the cabinet. It's gone, it's nowhere. I know Rusty had it, or I know that Rusty got rid of it, but I don't know how he got rid of the packaging. I hope you didn't eat that. Rusty, you're crazy with snakes. You gotta get rid of a few pounds, and now it's gonna be hard. You're gonna suffer for a little bit. You're gonna be a little hungry, but we have to. Beautiful to have a family dinner during Easter. Anytime getting together with family is a beautiful thing. Yes, I agree. Definitely do it as much as you can, guys. You never, yeah. Yeah, it's important, for sure. I agree, Fanny. I would love to do it too. Now that I don't have my family here, I definitely know what I had, when I had it. So, yeah, guys, never take it for granted. Always spend time with your families. Don't say, unfortunately, for being skeptical. I mean, scientific temperance skepticism has only progressed humanity. Plus, I'm biased. Skepticism is part of my job description as an auditor. Oh, yeah, you're right. So you're a skeptical person like me, too. But I agree, it's not a bad thing to be skeptical. It is necessary, like you said. And it's part of being a human. Sitting on the kitchen floor now.
He believes in food for sure. Yep, that's Rusty's religion right there, is food. Mine too sometimes. My family has grown small, as has Max, so that makes everything all the more important. Yeah, for sure. I agree. Family, like when you don't have it, it's when you know what you had. So it's important to really enjoy it when you have it, or appreciate it when you have it. So I'm glad to hear that you do and that you have the opportunity to be with your family. People often confuse skepticism with pessimism. Yeah, that's true. Like with being like naggy or pessimistic or set in your ways. You definitely have a family here. Aw, that is so sweet. Thanks, Christopher. I appreciate that. Definitely our little YouTube family going on here. I agree. It's definitely a good place to be. It's comforting. You know, I'm not scared of trolls. I used to be a little intimidated by the internet because it's just so vast and everything is possible here, or you never know who's gonna come into the stream. But it's at that point where it just is like a comfortable place for me. You know, it's like talking to friends, or like you said, a little family. Yeah. And you got so many animal friends here on YouTube too. Everyone has animals. You got Jefferson, you got the cats, you got all kinds of friends here, Oscar. They're all subscribed for you. Good job. Oscar's probably bored because my husband is sleeping already and I'm not giving him any attention, so he gets upset. Oh, I should. And then I was at work all day, and Daddy was at work too, so you were all by yourself with the mean cats. I know. You don't like the cats. I know, Shots. Thanks, Christopher. I appreciate it. So are any of you guys, if you ever feel the need to come to Tennessee and escape the cold weather in Ohio. We're always happy to have you here and go have a honky-tonk in Nashville or something. Right, Oscar? Do you like honky-tonk, Oscar? No? Maybe? I think Oscar would look super adorable in a cowboy hat and some boots. I got my boots. I got my hat. Yeah, you love country music. I know you're a country boy. Country. You're a Tennessee boy. Shoo-wee. Buttercup. Did you just bark? My husband always makes fun of my southern accent. He says I sound way too nasally. I'm not trying to mock it now. I'm too shy, but maybe one day. But yeah, my southern accent is a little silly, I guess. I give him that. If you all like spicy food and love to destroy your tummy, try Budok 2 times spicy noodles. I'm having that now as a smite to the Ohio weather. The Budok 2 times spicy, I had the Budok carbonara and another one, but never the 2 times spicy. I'm not crazy, funny. Do I look like I can tolerate spicy food? I don't think so. Like I'm telling you, the first few weeks in China, I was the restroom was basically my bedroom. That's the only room I had to be, if you know what I mean. So I'm not trying to destroy my tummy. Although it would be a funny challenge, wouldn't it? If we all did like a spicy ramen challenge together. We always had fun visiting Nashville. My best friend lived there. I guess he lived there for 8 years or so. Oh, nice. Yeah, it's a fun place. It's cool if you like being out there. It's loud if you're at the Broadway, like the Strip, but it has cool places too, like a lot of Indian restaurants, Mexican, obviously, Mediterranean restaurants, a lot of Persian food, Israeli food, it's a great place for eating out. But yeah, I'm kind of, I don't know, I do enjoy a good live music evening and going to bars and stuff, but I don't eat that often. I'm very, chill, in the chill phase now. I'm not a huge going out person anymore. Got to put up with crazy dogs and catfishing. Catfishing. Do you guys do catfishing? I had some fried catfish here in Tennessee. I never had catfish before I came here to Tennessee, but here it's a big thing. Eat the po' boy and the good old catfish. Gotta catch myself some catfish. And one day we can have our own novel. So many messages in it in the chat. Good for you guys. You're really fast with typing, by the way. It'll probably take me longer. I gotta store Oscar's squash for tomorrow. Put that in a little bowl. You do the catfishing? Nice. With the fishing rod or with some boom? I read that earlier in the stream that some people do fishing with explosives, which is crazy. That sounds so country. Everything's possible here. I love spicy food. I did the one chip challenge a few years ago, and right now I have a bottle of scorpion pepper sauce that I'm loving. Oh, Meg tried a taste of it, and it gave her the hiccups. I bet I would give me more than just the hiccups. I would probably feel that 5 days later. Yes, fishing rollout. Nice. Man, Christopher, it sounds like you need to have your own YouTube channel. You would already have a couple subscribers here, the Fam Bam, and I feel like you could teach us your ways, you know. Chats, Oscar, what do you need? Well, we're not going outside right now. We can go later, okay? You can sit here in the chair and lay down. Now, you lay down. You're a good boy. Rods, yeah, it's like rollout. Is that something? I don't know. I thought it was like a special way to go fishing. Rollout is like, like rolling out a net or something. So I assumed you just catch a lot of fish with that method, like ocean fishing. But yeah, you should. I agree. I think we all think so. And then I could finally see Jefferson as well. Yes. We all been in that boat, I bet. And all of us that started YouTube at one point. I've been thinking about it like at least 8 years before I actually started doing it. And then at one point I was like, you know what? What do I have to lose? Nothing. People can think what they want. I think one of my biggest issues when I was younger was what would people think that go to school with me and then later university. And now I'm like, who cares, you know? People will always think something of you no matter what you do. So might as well just do what you want to do. My daughter always tells me this. Your daughters are right. They sound smart, so listen to them. We can all learn from each other. Although, I don't know what you guys learn from me, but I can definitely learn from you. That is very okay tasting, by the way. It's called Icelandic Provisions Skyr. Skyr. Skyr is a hearty, oops. What is skyr? You want to learn what skyr is? You probably already know, but skyr is a hearty, protein-rich Icelandic yogurt dating back to the age of the Vikings that fills you up and keeps you going. Aha. Ours is the only skyr made in the USA that uses certified Icelandic heirloom cultures for a uniquely delicious, thick and creamy texture. Well, it certainly is creamy and quite thick compared to yogurt. I 100% agree with you, Shuriken. I was thinking that too. Just because I always read so many bad comments on the YouTubers I like, you know. So I was like, oh man, do I really want to deal with that? And people like ripping me apart and calling me things and like ruining my little bit of self-esteem that I have. But honestly, it's like you said, it's such a positive experience. So many nice people out here. Okay. Yeah, so many friendly people here, cool people, you know, people that make you feel very welcome and that you can talk to for hours, like multiple times a week, like you guys, which is just crazy, really cool. And you learn a lot, or at least I learned so much, and the exchange that you have with people, and yeah, it's just, or just other aspects too. Like for example, when I filmed the video, I was always like really self-conscious. I was like, I gotta look a certain way. I have to like make sure my hair is good, my face is good, you know. Like the lighting is good and flattering. But now, like yesterday, for example, I was just like doing the dishes with my safety goggles after like cleaning the house and like with like greasy or like sweaty hair, sweaty face. I feel like you just accept yourself more and you're not worried about what people think of you or how they perceive you. So it really helped me in that way a lot too. I think a lot of females struggle with that specifically, but I bet guys too. Hi John. Now my cat is up here on the kitchen counter, even though she's not supposed to do that, but for some reason she thinks it's a good idea right now. I love skyr, haven't had any in years, so yeah, I rarely ever eat it. It was on sale today, so. Is it cheese? Kinda, I guess. We have something similar in Germany. It tastes the exact same. That's why I like to buy it here, because it reminds me of Germany. We call it quack, like a duck. It's not a duck mix. Quack. But yeah, we call it quack. And it's the same texture and the same protein amount. And it's like kind of like a cream cheese, so it's not technically a cheese yet, but it's on the way. It's basically between a yogurt and a cheese, like a cream cheese, so it's like its own thing almost. But yeah, it has an amazing texture, and I like quark. You can make cheesecake, or in Germany we make cheesecake out of skyr or quark instead of cream cheese. Awesome name. I learn interesting things in every single one of your streams. Absolutely fantastic. Can't thank you enough. Aww. Stop it now. I learn from you guys. I appreciate it though. I'm glad. I think we can all learn things from each other. And I'm happy to hear that. That's the best. Or you guys' compliments are the best. I really appreciated. And that gives me a reason to come back and keep doing those live streams with you guys. And Shuriken, if you ever do a live stream, or Christopher or Funny or anyone else, we'll be here and watch yours and support you too. And but even if not, I'll gladly be the host of our live streams. Our army is amazing. Thank you, Christopher. You guys are amazing as well. You had to step away, but tongue and eyes, the spiciest thing I've ever seen. Oh wow, as an Indian, yeah, I can imagine. Wow, the bulldog double is spicy. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna remember that because I have a friend and he always says that he can eat like super spicy and have spicy ramen. So I'll have him try it with me. Maybe I'll do it on stream. We do like a spicy ramen challenge or something. Even though that's so 2019 probably, but who cares? I'm gladly late to the game to entertain you guys. So I think that it could be funny. I also want to make them try some German snacks. There's like an international market here that sells a lot of German snacks. I would love to do that. And maybe I could try them with my American friends and stream, and we can recommend you some stuff. But yeah, Funny, that sounds very intense. Please eat some like yogurt or something to cool your tongue. Or anything that helps. I think water makes it worse, doesn't it? I mean, the first impulse is to drink ice or eat ice, but I think it actually makes it worse after the first effect of the cooling ice. Give it to him, her. If they're okay with not being my friend anymore. Oh no, then I can't do it, and I have to give it to someone I don't like. But it's gonna be hard to get them on stream doing that with me. I might try a live stream one of these days. How to set it up. It's actually super easy. I was freaking out about it too the first few times. I was like, oh my goodness, how's that gonna work? It's the whole like, if you've never done something, it's always intimidating and scary and you think you're gonna screw it up, and yeah, but there's really nothing that can go wrong. You can definitely do it. To your weird voice. Oh, come on now. You know that you don't have a weird voice. It's actually the exact opposite. I think I'm not the first person that told you that you have a voice that was made for like narrating things. Milk or ice cream are good for a spice. I heard about that too. My husband always tells me that. Because last time I ate something super spicy, I did the same thing as usual. Funny. I would drink super cold water and put ice cubes in it. But it honestly did burn my tongue even more. Like, it was maybe good for like 1 millisecond, but after that it was way worse. Like as soon as it warms up again to like room temperature, terrible. Also guys, before I leave, the stream is long enough that I know that no one is gonna watch it that far if I tell you some crap. Do you remember the tea can? Now we are a good crowd. I still didn't find out any news about it, so just take it with a grain of salt again. It is just what I, from my basic knowledge of Chinese and not being in practice for so long, can tell you what it says or what I think it says. After also looking it up, like the translator, just making sure I'm not wrong. It sounds so weird to you. Well, then you have some like hearing issues, Shuriken. It definitely does not sound weird. I think we can all confirm that it isn't. And I had the same issue. I don't hate my voice or anything. It's just in general weird to hear myself, or I was. But now I'm really getting used to it. Honey is the way to go. I'm gonna show you what I'm going through now. We're all family. You're right, Christopher. I like that. True, true. So yeah. Weird voice, weird ears. You know what? We're all weird in our own way. Let's just be weird so nothing's weird anymore. It's only when you start putting things in categories and say this is weird, this is not weird, that's when things are actually starting to get weird. Zhuangzi, the Chinese neo-Confucianist, he was a big no, Susie, stop scratching. Susie. She scratches my new chairs, but she won't stop doing that anyways. But he was a big opponent, that's the right word to think, of categorizing things and putting them in the category of beautiful, ugly, like the dualistic system. Because he says it makes us more, putting things into categories makes us even, how did he say that? I mean, it's hard to say that in English. Like, I know how I would want to say it in German, but in English it's like a whole new level. So categorizing sets humanity back, and it's not progressing. So it's like narrowing down our knowledge or limiting our knowledge, because we will only have those two, or like categories will only like narrow down people's knowledge and limit it instead of contributing to it in a positive way. And he also had this great analogy. I don't know if you heard about the butterfly story. So it says, Master Zhuangzi woke up from a dream, and he dreamt that he was a butterfly. So now the question is he actually a butterfly dreaming that he is Zhuangzi, or is he Master Zhuangzi that dreamt that he was a butterfly? Yeah, blah blah blah. Sorry. Marcus, Lord of the Widows, that's why I like him. I think he is like definitely a great contributor to the weirdness in our little YouTube family here. Anybody want to know about honeybees and honey? Let me know. Oh, for sure, we'll come back to you for that, Christopher. Totally willing to learn about honeybees and bees. I would love to. I love bees. That's why I want to have a garden one day, just so I have some. I will have some food for the bees, or contribute to them having some more things to thrive on. Because just today I saw someone. There's a house nearby that will be teared down. So they're trying to build something new in this property, and it's a huge lawn. Like it's huge, and it has so many beautiful wildflowers on it, and it's really nice right now. It's full of flowers. And I saw this guy with a tank of like Roundup, like glyphosate on his back, and just spraying that on this entire piece of land to make it brown, to make it ready for what they're gonna build there. I was like, can you not just like mulch that, or like, you know, plow it or something instead of doing that? Like, what the? It's just crazy to me. But yeah, I always love that butterfly anecdote. Me too. It's definitely one of my favorites. I'm all over tonight. I definitely have a book of knowledge too, who is interested. Nice. Glad to hear that, Christopher. Like I said, one day we'll have a Christopher, either like a honey B stream, or like you can tell us about your stories in the army. I think maybe I'll ask my husband to join. I'm sure he would love to hear about that one day when he's not sleeping. So I think that would be really cool for him to hear that too. But I showed that chicken a while ago. Christopher, I think you weren't there for that. It was a while ago. So this is oo, that means like no, and or like kind of like no, but different, not directly no. There's no real no in Chinese. It's a little tricky. So wu wei, for example, is like a Taoism term that means the non-action. Like in Taoism, they use that word non-action or wu wei a lot. Basically, it's saying letting nature do its thing and come to you instead of you coming to nature, like non-acting, just accepting everything for what it is and going with the flow, basically. Very similar. And there's this longevity or prosperous or like long, I would say longevity put together. And this is the character or Hanzi for Xinjiang province, where the Uyghurs live in Western China. It's a Muslim country, like most of the people there are Muslims, so it's a little problematic. You probably heard about the whole situation there, you know, and that it's a little tricky. So if I interpret that correctly, starting from here, I would read there's no longevity in this province. So I was like, am I reading this right? So I don't want to say that it's true because maybe I'm just reading it wrong and it has like a different meaning. Maybe it's like a Chengyu. Chengyu means it's like a 4-character, like a quote basically. In Chinese history, quotes are usually written with 4 characters, like Chinese characters. It might be one of those, and it has like a different meaning, like historical meaning, or like a, I don't know, but from what I read from my modern knowledge, it would read there's no longevity or prosperity in that state or that province. So it's a little bit of a message, you know. Maybe they just really produced that for the Western world to send out a message indirectly, like subtle, because they know most people wouldn't even be able to read that, but it still says that. So I don't know, kind of like sending like a secret letter. I'm a Socrates. The only thing I'm aware of is my own ignorance. Yeah, that is very similar to what Zhuangzi's belief was, that, and Lao Tzu, he says the same thing, that he only knows that he doesn't know anything, and knowing anything is actually the only knowledge. So I think a lot of philosophers back then had the same thought. I'm gonna put Oscar in the bed. Oscar, come here. Oscar. Look at him. Sometimes I think he has dementia. He just stands somewhere and he looks around, and then he forgets where he is. He's getting old now. He does that sometimes at night, in the middle of the night. He just walks into a room, into the bathroom, and just hears little tippy toes, and then he just stands there looking at the wall. Or he walks into the closet. I always feel really bad for him. An intense teapot. Fascinating and intense. Yeah, I agree. I don't, like I said, don't take it as a 100% kind of thing. It might be something completely different, but if I take it apart, it would say that. I even turned around the characters and I would still come to a similar conclusion. So, are you in bed now? Okay. Yep, I'm not sure. So please, I'm not an expert. I'm not Chinese myself. I'm not historical. Well, I did read historical Chinese texts, so well, I guess I'm a little bit. I have a little bit of knowledge in that part, but like I said, I haven't practiced Chinese in a while, and I would never be able to read it as a Chinese person myself. So I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it is what I said. I was in Korea for a riff, 11 months, awesome folks. Love your pod. You probably couldn't get any closer than me in thinking. And that's cool you went to Korea. My husband was about to be stationed in Korea, but he could get out of it. He didn't want to. I would have loved to go, so I was upset I didn't go, but it's okay. But yeah, I can imagine. I think it's really cool culture. I would love to go just for a trip, you know, just to see it myself. Lady Cat's brain isn't as sharp as it used to be, but it still seems amazingly sharp given her age. That's wonderful. I'm glad. Your Lady Cat is just such a wonder to me. And I'm glad her brain's still working. I would say Oscar's works for the most part too. He just has his moments where I feel like it's definitely different from like a year or 2 years ago. But I guess it's just part of getting older, and we all can't prevent that. So have you ever talked about the origin story of tea? I don't think we did we? Not all together, I think. Here I'm back, just recorded a video of me struggling through the Budok as I ate through this, water from my eyes, and how FDA approved it, and not eating that myself ever again. Oh man, now I almost feel like we all need to try that Budok ramen together in a stream. When if I and my friend do that challenge, would you all do it with me? I think that would be hilarious, or painful probably. And I would probably regret it pretty fast. Hi Christy, how are you doing? How's your evening going? Or it depends on where you are, your day. But yeah, I think that would be cool. Funny, by the way, you just missed out on my teapot. I just revealed the teapot. You know the characters, if you still remember. And that's okay, you were struggling. You were a struggling brother, we understand. Take your time, get all that water out of your nose and eyes, and just get need one of those nose cleaners, you know, where you spritz water from one side to the other. Doing good, currently planting flowers on the road. Where are you from, Christy? When you're planting something, you probably... Europe would be very early in the morning, so more like Australia, somewhere like that. It's up in stream already, 5 minutes, 45 seconds of pure hell. Did you also you uploaded it? Funny. Oh, you streamed it. Okay, I got you when you said stream. I gotta rewatch that. And yeah, funny. I tell you the teapot real quick. If you missed that, I'm just gonna keep it short. So, Xinjiang province, longevity. And it says, from what I put together, it says there's no longevity in this province that I just mentioned, this Chinese province. And it's the province where there's some struggles going on sometimes. So I wonder who the manufacturer of the teapot is, and they definitely had a little bit of a political message in there, from what I see. I might be completely wrong. I'm in New York. Oh, nice. New York must be, it's like almost 11 in New York, right? You're planting something outside. You're planting flowers on the road. So like alongside the road, or how can I imagine you doing that? It says yeehaw or go away. It's just like mirrored, so it says go away. I just wore that for because I did my taxes today, and I was so upset at how much taxes the IRS takes out. Because I'm German, I'm not used to the taxes here, so it was my first time doing taxes in America, and I was mad. So go away is pointed or directed to the IRS. You live in a lovely state. I bet New York must be beautiful. Not just the city, but the state must be really cool. I'll be back in a second, guys. Sorry guys, I was just watching the towing person towing a car outside. I like to garden in the night in potholes. That is so cute. I love that. That's amazing. Thank you for doing that. That's really cool. That's cool. I never met a person that does something like that before. I like to plant stuff too. At places where there's nothing growing, like there's a church close to us and they have just like mulch everywhere, so I planted grapes there and some flowers, and there's this abandoned piece of land here, so I planted some squash over there and sunflowers and all that kind of stuff, because I don't like how like little flowers we have, you know. And I planted some wildflower seeds so the bees have a little bit to eat, or a little bit more. So yeah, I love doing that too, not in potholes, but it's cool to just meet a person that plants stuff in not her or their own garden, but somewhere else. That is a beautiful thing. Thanks for doing that, Christy. The Yan Emperor Shannong was taking lunch in the wilderness in the spring of 2730 BC, when leaves from an ancient tree drifted into his pot of boiling water. That tree was a Camellia sinensis. Thanks for telling us the story. I remember that story. I think I learned that in actually in a Chinese history seminar at university. Yeah, pretty sure. We learned about tea and even coffee in China, all that cool stuff. It's a really cool story, and apparently there's a similar story about how Earl Grey tea became a thing. It was an earl, his last name was Grey, or either that, there's different stories of that story. It was either an earl that was sitting in Grey Street, or his last name was Grey, and he was sitting in London, I believe. I think it was Grey Street, and there was a bergamot leaf falling into his black tea, or his English breakfast tea, and that's how the Earl Grey tea became a thing, but I have no idea if that's true. I haven't looked into it after I read that. That water became the first cup of tea. Isn't that cute? That's such a cool story. But yeah, it kind of makes sense, because I mean, it has to happen somehow. People have to try it for the first time. Hi, Ashad. You know, so incidental or accidentally, I can believe that. I can see that be like a real thing. That'll be my introductory narration for the first tea video. Oh, cool. Yay. I'm excited for it. I'm so glad that there's like tea enthusiasts here. It's just so cool how many people you meet here. And the funny thing is, you didn't even meet me or this channel, or we didn't meet each other looking up tea stuff, but you just saw me walking around with Oscar, I think. Same with Funny. And Christopher, you said you saw me, was it making food for Oscar? And I read your comment right before I started my live stream, by the way, Christopher. I think it's a really cool thing that you're trying to cook for your dog. And yeah, if you want to cook together tomorrow, I'll cook for Oscar probably during lunchtime tomorrow, because that will be my only time for myself. So yeah, if you want to cook together, I'll make some chicken thighs for Oscar with some rice and squash. And yeah, it's an awesome idea that you're trying to cook for your dog. I'm sure Jefferson will love it. He will definitely get spoiled, so be aware of that. Once he's hooked, he won't go back, or he will not like to go back. So you gotta make sure you know what you're getting yourself into, but I'm sure he will definitely appreciate it a lot. And I feel like Jefferson definitely deserves it. It's an awesome Earl Grey story. It's similar to the normal tea story. So maybe they just copied that tea story and just made it into the Earl Grey story. So I don't know if it's actually true. Thanks, Ashad. I never investigated this as well. Yeah, there's so many things I only started investigating because of you guys bringing it up, or while we talk, sometimes when I have my computer here, I will look up something and learn something new. Like for example, last time with the beers, I finally know what the difference between a lager and an ale is, like top fermented, bottom fermented, all that kind of stuff. And it's just one thing. Or the banana story, the Big Mike story, that the original banana was called Big Mike. Like, who knows that? Like, and now I know, thanks to you guys, because we looked it up. I might just question you out of personal interest, if you wouldn't mind. Our commercial tea production, yes, that would be amazing. I did a video with this, his name is Goji Man. I don't know if you heard about him. He's like this British lad. He's like a nutrition scientist. He does like his master's in nutrition or something, I forgot. Not just nutrition, there was something else with it too. But he made a video about coffee and the coffee production, like in South America, and how terrible that is. So since then, I really look at coffee differently. I'm not a huge coffee person in general anyways, so I wasn't personally bothered by it, because I was like, oh no, I can never drink coffee again, because I never really drink coffee, just for the flavor sometimes, as a treat, like once a week or so. But yeah, I never knew how devastating and terrible the coffee production is, especially how like cheap those those store brands or those chains are, like the coffee, how bad it is. So you can really just drink organic coffee, and even that is probably not the best. He is spoiled as we speak. I bet they both are. Questions are always welcome. That's good. I get ready for some questions then, Shuriken. Funny. But yeah, I can only assume that tea and coffee are probably very similar in pesticide use. And I remember in China, when I went to this little village, they did some tea production there too. And they had a lot of birth defects there in this area, because there's also like a chemical company very close by, so they would lead their like wastewater into the fields and all that. So really terrible. And then the combination of the pesticides they used in the fields on top of that, really not good. And they definitely have some other pesticides that Europe doesn't allow, but America also has a lot of pesticides that are not allowed in Germany or restricted. And a fun fact about tea in Germany, highest insurance is on tongue of a tea taster, Sebastian Michalis, who is also German by origin. The highest insurance is on a tongue. He insured his tongue. Tea taster. Man, oh man. Shuriken, how are we getting into a job like that? We gotta be tea tasters. Funny, if you can hook us up, that'd be cool. Or just like, I always imagine being one of those people traveling around the world, finding new ingredients, may it be tea or anything else, like a spice or something. How amazing is that? Like, how can I get a job like that? Those people either really know people or they're just the luckiest people ever. Now that's fascinating, funny. It reminds me of the guy who smells everything that they send into space to make sure it won't bother the astronauts. Nostradamus. That's funny. I did not know that. It won't bother the astronauts. Wow. It's £1 million insurance insured by corporate. That's funny. Like his £1 million insurance. So what is he scared of? What's going to happen to his tongue? I mean, yeah, I guess it's the same thing for models. I think they insure their legs in case they break them or something happens. It's crazy how that's possible, or how that's even a thing, just to insure like one body part. That's funny. Yeah, for sure. The tea taster sounds like one of the best jobs in the world. Yeah, and then imagine like actually traveling to the places and getting paid for that, and being right there, you know, at the fields or the factory or the little local farmer, and being able to drink that. That would have been cool. I remember when I was in Mongolia, sitting in that yurta, like the yurten tent, like one of those round Mongolian tents. After I was riding through the fields with them, or the hills, and drinking some roasted barley tea, or was it barley? Millet, I think it was roasted millet tea, and eating those horse milk cookies. I was already imagining myself being like a businesswoman, you know, like going back from China or Mongolia, just that area, and finding new products and bringing them back to Germany, just working in kind of like a food related field as a business person. And I was like excited for that life, you know, but now obviously I'm not doing that, but that just reminded me of that thought I had back then, or that dream. Tea tasting is an art. How do you think the tea you get from packets all taste the same size granules? It's an extremely technical and complex process to taste the tea and grade it. Oh, well, I can imagine. They all taste the same. Yeah, you're right. I never even thought that they would put so much thought and effort into it, because I think whenever they sell those like cheap ass teas, you know, those very standard non-organic or non-fair trade, non-fancy mass production teas, I always think they just, you know, they just buy it cheap and store it cheap and put some chemicals on it to make them last longer and not get moldy, and then they just put it into packages. But yeah, there must be some complex process behind it. George Aldrich is Nostradamus' proper name. I had to look it up. Nice, learned something new again. I knew someone with the last name Aldrich. I bet natural barley tea would be awesome. It is really good, and a lot of Asian markets have barley tea, like roasted barley, and it's really good, really tasty. I have a similar one. Shuriken knows that one too, and funny probably too. It's gunmai, that means just roasted rice, and it's very fragrant. It's almost not savory, but it definitely, I don't know, I love it. It's just such a good taste, just like the roasted aroma. You can really like taste the grain, but in a good way. And then with a hint of green tea, it is amazing. You sure aren't kidding. It's overwhelming to think about how good these tea tasters pellets must be. Oh yeah, very, very nuanced. It has to be. It's like my dream was always talking about tasting. Either be like a person that finds new ingredients around the world. Tea taster would be amazing, but I always thought about how cool does it have to be a water tester, because I'm very particular with my water. Don't forget to drink your water, guys. By the way, stay hydrated. So I tried to finish this bottle today and I'm almost there. I'm very particular with water. I have water that I don't like at all. And tap water here in Tennessee is absolutely disgusting. It is so bad. In Italy and southern European countries, it's really bad too, just because the water levels are so low and it's so hot that they really have to use a lot of chloride too to keep it keep bacteria from growing in there. So it's not an American thing. There's some places in the world that have chloride in it too, but here it's just so gross. How's the water where you guys are in Georgia and Ohio? How is your water? Is it disgusting too, or do you filter it? How do you do that? Do you buy it? Just Japanese make a barley tea called mugicha. It's awesome. I agree. Yeah, if you have an Asia store, Christopher, you can definitely find it there for sure. Teas are graded in 5-factor: zing, color, body size, and sparkle. They are rated from a scale of 1 to 6, subsets 1 to 5. Each point grades could result in 4 to 5 cent different in costs. Huh. Wow. That's very interesting. Yeah, you know a lot about it. Funny, that's really cool. Who would have thought that tea people come together here, and then there's actually someone that worked in the field of tea. Like, what? Internet's just crazy. Again, my chai has such a unique taste, love it, and it's so nostalgic for me. It was one of the first teas that I drank regularly when I started with tea. Yeah, I think it's a good starter for people that want to get into tea and want to try a little bit different things than just the normal regular teas that you can get. Just it adds a little bit more of a special flavor, and I've never met someone that doesn't like it, so I think it's a safe bet. Although, yeah, I bet there's some people that don't like it. I think it's weird that it's tasting like roasted rice, but I yet have to meet someone that doesn't like it. I constantly put lemon juice in my water. Okay, that says a lot. So probably not just for health reasons, but probably to flavor it and get rid of the weird taste. And tea tasters make sure that every batch, every production tastes the very same, not even a small change in profile. That's why the tongues are insured for 1 million pounds. Wow, crazy. Hi Keizaki, lemon water, yay. I like it too. I like to drink my lemon water. Also, I don't know, I'll show you something real quick. I know I showed it to you last time, so if you already seen it, I'm not trying to annoy you with my miracle berries, but my miracle berries, it's not a product placement. I'm not trying to make advertisement for it. I'm covering the brand, but it's a berry. It's called Ledidi berry. So if you haven't tried that yet, talking about lemon juice or lemon water, if you eat a little piece of this berry before you drink lemon water, or you could eat a whole lemon, your lemon water will taste like the sweetest lemonade that you've ever had in your life. So just eating a tiny piece of this lemon, putting it on your tongue, letting it sit, it will block the sourness receptors and turn the sourness that you will taste from the lemon into sweetness. So it will taste like you're drinking a sweet lemonade without all the negative effects of sugar. Just a little tip. I actually bought a lot of lemons because of those berries. I usually don't drink lemonade, but I'm gonna make some lemon water tomorrow. Just like the Japanese sushi chef, this guy trained for 6. I missed another one. The water varies a lot around here. Ours is quite good, right out of the tap, but neighborhoods far away have some terrible water. Yeah, here it's different too. Like the further south you go, the better it gets somehow, but it depends, I guess. Same here. Sushi chef, these guys trained for 6 years before taking a job travel around the world, tasting teas from gardens. A good taster can drink tea and guess the garden it came from. What a dream. That sounds amazing. I think a lot of Asian folks live around here, but I don't get around much anymore. I get that, Christopher. I hear that Ohio also has a lot of Germans, right? For some reason, Germans really like to move to Ohio. The Indian tea grading convention are really intimidating. They've nearly turned it into a science. Bananas are berries, apparently. I learned that today. Bananas are berries, really? Wow, learned something new. But yeah, it makes sense. They grow like a grape, basically. And they have seeds, technically. Interesting. Thank you, Kaizaki. Learned something new today. Lemon water and lime water are really tasty. I agree. Yeah, especially with, I'll say it again, the miracle berry. It is really cool. The water here is heavily chlorinated. It takes a longer time to boil rice, and rice tastes differently. Yeah. Yep, here too. I have a water filter on the tap that I use. It helps a little bit. Definitely with the chlorine, like it takes out the flavor and hopefully also the stuff. Maybe it's just the flavor that it takes out. I don't know. But I remember when I had to cook water in China, they told us never drink anything out of the tap water and you'll get really sick from that. So everything we had to boil, but I was so scared of it that I wouldn't even boil my stuff in it. I would use like bottled water to boil my rice in, or make tea, or even brush my teeth. Like I would wash my mouth out with this. I rinse it out. I didn't trust it. So yeah, water definitely changes the rice too. I remember how different my rice day was too. And you can add a little bit of baking soda to your rice. It takes out a little bit of the chemicals from the water, but not sure if it does a lot. It turns it yellow though, so it will look a little bit different. Your rice will turn yellow. Banana are berries, tomatoes are fruits, and funny and insightful. Facts. Not just Indian, this is the world's rating system of tea. Wow, crazy. Learned something new today. I didn't know how strict that whole tea thing was. I thought it would be way more like relaxed and less restricted or less controlled. I thought it would just be like people buying off tea from tea farmers, just mass production, and put their label on it with rainwater. Do you ever drink rainwater? Rainwater is good for plants, I heard. It's the best thing you can do for plants, right? Although, isn't there like acidic rainwater that's really bad? That's what I learned. Acidic rain. It's probably more like cities, like polluted cities with a lot of smog. Oh man, I gotta work tomorrow. I just realized that. I was like, is it Thursday today? Is tomorrow Friday? We don't drink rainwater. It would potentially contain pollution from factories. Yes, that's what I, same thing with snow. I mean, it's the same thing. It's also just rain. But snow always looks so nice and fluffy and clean. And I remember that one time I just like ate a handful of snow and it tasted so disgusting. I was like, what is this? So I collected a bunch, like a lot of snow, and put that in a little kettle. Or it wasn't a kettle, I wasn't like that medieval, but I had my little gas cooker. I think we did like some winter camping or something, and I put the snow into my gas cooker and I melted the snow, and then I poured it into my water bottle, like my water bottle, like a clear water bottle, and the water was like almost black. It was so dark and gross. It was disgusting. So there's just so much pollution in rain or snow. So yeah, I definitely would never do that again unless I really have to. Same with like as a kid when you what are they called? Those ice cones, icicles, not popsicle, icicle, I think. When you lick them as a kid, like an ice cube. I'm just thinking about that. Oh. Gross. But yeah, I agree with you, Funny, for sure. It's good for plants, probably, especially when you're more in the countryside. It's probably not that bad. It's clean your area. Yeah, if you're more in a nicer rural area, it's probably really not that bad compared to some areas, but I still wouldn't trust it, although it's probably still better than some tap water out there. You never know what they add into their water, but that's a whole different story. Guys, I think I'm gonna hop off soon, and I'm gonna let you go to bed too. Don't want anyone to be too tired tomorrow, since it's already after 10, so I don't want to keep you guys up for too long. Long day tomorrow. I need some time for your tongue heals. Yeah, I believe that. Well, I hope you feel well or better soon, Funny. I'm sorry you're in pain, even though you inflicted that on yourself, so it's a little bit of your own fault, but I still feel sorry for you, obviously. And I'll keep you updated if I'm gonna do that challenge with ramen. I remembered which one it was. But we'll see. I don't know if I'm brave enough. Just knowing myself how less tolerant or little tolerance I have for spicy stuff. Don't do that? Okay, well, that sounds a little bit like a warning. You were writing that in capital letters. 1 to 5, but the product was much more arbitrary so far as I know, more in art than in science. Might be more with Indian teas then, although Funny would know best. He's our tea expert. I mean, you are too, Shuriken. But yeah, guys, we gotta, we'll definitely talk about it next time. And I'm glad that Funny will answer all our tea comments we have. And Christopher will also have some more knowledge for us in the next live streams, and you too, Shuriken. And I hope I see you next time. I think the next time will actually be tomorrow, but yeah, if you guys won't be there, that's totally understandable. Don't feel forced to be in my live streams every day. I know that's a lot. I just want to share Oscar's cooking stream tomorrow in case someone wants to cook with me some dog food. And yeah, if not tomorrow, I'll see you another time. And I loved the talk today again, as usual. It was really interesting and I learned a lot of new things again. And I'm so glad y'all are so smart. You have so much knowledge. We will talk more on that Chinese teas are green teas, so they don't have bodies, so they don't hop on a different scale and system. Yeah, black teas are more consumed. Okay, we'll talk about it next time. Sounds good. Okay, good night, everyone. Christopher and craziness of Marco. I think Marco's already gone for a couple hours now. He is an early sleeper, other than us. But yeah, good night, everyone. Have a great evening, great night, sweet dreams, and dream of tea. And as always, Yava Ok. Never forget, Yava Ok. Me too. I enjoy my streams too because of you guys. Hi to London. You're the second person from London today in the stream. Hi Rasta. We had someone earlier, but the person's already gone. Welcome to the stream. My phone is about to die, so I'm hopping off. Sorry, Rasta, that was a short encounter, but I'll be back on tomorrow. So maybe I'll see you tomorrow, and if not, have a great evening or great day, and good night everyone from America, and have a good day everyone in Europe or wherever you are. Be safe, and yeah, good night everyone.